Good morning and welcome, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Rob Hayes. This is my wife Elizabeth. We're the owners of the campground here, Hayes Hideaway. Today I'd like to introduce Rick Breezy, Parliamentary Assistant to the Minister of Natural Resources and Forestry. Come on up. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Robert and Elizabeth, for having us here today. Your site was one of the ones that shocked me several months ago when I was here. Saw the level of damage, and well, let's face it, anybody that's driving up either side of Highway 7 here has seen the damage that's in the area, and it goes well beyond. That's the tornado. We also had the Derico that blew through basically to the north of here, and it's an equivalent or similar damage across the way. So I'm very pleased to be here today to, well, I'll let the minister actually make the announcement, but to say that we are actually doing something. Appreciate you all being here for this announcement, and without further ado, I will invite up Minister Graydon Smith, the Minister of Natural Resources and Forestry.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks to my good friend P.A. Brissy. You know, he just does, I know, a fantastic job representing the area, but he is an absolute bonus for me to have as a parliamentary assistant to help carry out my duties. He does so many good things, not only for the area, but for the province of Ontario. Thanks, Rick, for all that you do. And again, thanks to Hayes Hideaway for having us here this morning. It's an important day. Just in my conversations beforehand this morning and having a chance to talk with the municipal folks and the owners of the property here, you know, there's quite a few stories. Everyone's got a story of what happened that day or those days, and they're chilling. And to drive along 7 just on the way in here is chilling to look at it and think of what it would have been like for people as it was happening. But then, of course, the aftermath is something else entirely. So I am thrilled to be here today to announce that our government is taking action to build a stronger Ontario and make life better in this area. As Minister of Natural Resources and Forestry, and I'm a former mayor, I was the mayor of Bracebridge for 12 years, I know that small and local communities are so important to the success of our province as a whole. These are the places that people call home, where they work, where they live, where they start a family. They're places that they love. That's why you're in this community. And during my time as mayor of Bracebridge in both 2013 and 2019, we had natural disasters affect our area. A little more slow moving. It was flooding that got us and led to a state of emergency, and led to the military coming in at one point and helping us out. So I say that today because I'm speaking to you with a keen awareness of what natural disasters could do to a community here and across Ontario. Over the last year, our province faced a real threat posed by a number of extreme weather events, and these included a rarely seen group of fast-moving and powerful storms, a Derico in May, a tornado in July. These events were a threat to safety, a threat to lives in several communities, including right here in Tweed and the surrounding area. And I'm thankful that from a personal safety standpoint, although I know there were tragedies, it just seems from just the conversations this morning that it could have been so much worse. And I know we're all thankful that it wasn't. However, there has been a lot of damage, and natural disasters often leave behind a lot of lasting effects. Here and across southern Ontario, we saw damage to private property, crown property, private forests, forest access roads, and other public roads. And for the residents of this community and others like it, the rebuilding and the repair are ongoing, obviously ongoing. In some cases, the damage left behind by these disasters can pose new risks to public safety. Downed trees and other debris on water can lead to increased risks of flood and fire. So even as you work to return things to normal, severe weather continues to create concerns in the present. As I said, I know from experience how communities like yours work hard to support one another in times like these. It is, you know, why we live in small communities, I think, in part because everyone knows everyone and everyone wants to help everyone. And that's incredibly uplifting. But our government's committed to doing our part and to build a stronger Ontario for now and in the future. And that's why I'm very pleased to announce the Ontario government will be providing $5.5 million to support affected municipalities. These funds will help support municipalities to clean up and remove any remaining debris, ensure traces of last year's severe weather events don't pose a public safety threat to people in the future. And this will also help carry out forest regeneration in affected forested areas to provide continued health and well-being of our local forests. Together, these actions will safeguard people and property from unnecessary risks and give your community's natural landscapes a solid foundation for regrowth. I'm confident that this funding will make a meaningful difference and real progress towards rebuilding and recovery. And again, I thank you so much for having me here today to make this important announcement. Thank you very much.
Minister, thank you so very much. I mean, this event, these two windstorms were devastating and it left carnage. And so with your support, thank you so much. We're going to get some cleanup done in our areas and in 22 municipalities across this end of Ontario. So your support has been incredibly appreciative of that. Folks, he led this charge. It's important to note that.
Let's face it, this community suffered greatly, and in particular the residents that were impacted by this horrific storm. And the mental anguish that they've been going through since July, wondering about forest fires and flooding and the devastation to their woodlots and whatnot, has had an increasing toll on them. And so today's announcement will go a long way in helping us help you address the concerns that you've had. We will be focusing on clearing our rivers. We will be focusing on ensuring that a 30-meter radius around all houses will be cleared. We are going to focus on clearing the debris from the roadsides. And I will also say, and I'm not going to go into it right now, and I can talk later about it, but we've also have a wonderful relationship with MNRF in regards to how we are going to deal with a forest fire if one should ever happen. We have a wonderful arrangement that we struck to protect you, and it's very important that we all continue to work together. We will continue to work with MPP, PA, Brise, and Minister Smith to ensure that we continue to battle these things together as partners, as you have proven that you are today, both of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would just like to acknowledge our thanks in the municipality of Marmor Lake for the help we're going to receive from Graydon and from Rick. And I would like to say a very strong thank you to our staff. During these storms, our staff were put at great risk, and they had a huge job to do just to keep the public safe. And our staff were very instrumental in doing a lot of the work just with their own crews. And for those reasons, we were able to do things frugally to some degree, but we managed to accomplish the cleanup within a very short period of time. And I'd just like to extend those thanks to our staff. Thank you.
And if I can add to that, Jan, the fire departments across the municipalities did a wonderful job. The volunteers were all out in force helping their community, as we know that all of our volunteer firefighters have done for years.
On behalf of the County of Hastings, I'd like to thank Minister Smith and MPP Reezy for this much needed assistance to the county and the townships. We were all affected in one way or another.